It's a very interesting situation. I'm just amazed about how we ended up here. But maybe jumping into Renewcell, like I don't know. Maybe you can also give a little bit short background, like why did it end up being founded, and when and where and who and so on. But more specifically, I'm super interested about the technology, about this Circulose uh, fiber that you were producing. Yeah, just tell me a little bit about that.
That was founded back in 2012 by two professors at the Royal Institute of Technology, Michael Lundstro and Gunnar Henriksson, who came up with a technology on how to actually separate the cotton fibers. Viscose is normally produced from wood. So you're chopping down your wood, and then you're making wood chips, and then you're making dissolving pulp, and then you make viscose out of that. What the technology and what Renewcell is doing, what the professors here developed, was a technology on how to separate textiles and into a dissolving pulp, and use that dissolving pulp to make new clothes, and that can be recycled over and over again. Not endlessly, I guess, but it's at least as paper, where
Mm.
7, 8 times, and maybe more. So from that innovation, the company was started, and we built first a pilot plant in Kristinehamn. That didn't work at all from the beginning, but then we changed a lot of machineries and so forth. And in the end, we had 90%. No, this is Ortviken here on this one. But the smaller one, we had we produced approximately 1,000 tons a year there. But we were able to produce 90% was within specification, and customers liked it. And then we decided then to build a big plant in Ortviken,
Mm.
and and that's the plant that you had there on the photo.
Yep.
And that plant has a capacity of 60,000 tons initially. Yeah, this is what it looks like inside. This is the cutter. It's you see the dryer on the left hand side, and then it coming into the on the right hand side you see the cutter. So this plant we raised capital via an IPO, and we built it. We were supposed to build it in 12 months. We built it in 18 months, and we started up in 3 months. So it was super fast. So we have a big warehouse where we take in bales of used textiles and feed the machine here. It's actually a very big plant. You have a bicycle inside of this one
Mhm.
in order to get from one side to the other. And so we shipped our first deliveries to customers end 2022, and then during spring 2023 we ramped up production from a few tons per month up to 3,200 metric tons in May, June, and selling that throughout the value chain. And we have customers like Sanyo, Tangshan, Birla, Jibin, Jilin, and so forth. And they're happy with the product. It works, and they are
Mm.
very. So they have produced. We have also built up the Circulose supplier network, which has the value chain from the viscose fiber producer, so the spinners, the weavers, and we have selected the weavers and the spinners that are used by the biggest brands in the world. So right now it's all available. So all the brands need to do is just to go and tell these weavers, and I want this textile, but I want it with 30% or 50% Circulose fibers in there.
Okay.
So it's all there. Um,
Okay. So literally, what happens is that, as you can see in this image, in one end of the machine goes in like worn clothes. They're being um, cut into pieces. Eventually, a pulp is made, and then that is somehow ending up as this sheet of what looks like almost a garment, like
No, no, no. It's
no,
the sheets is so we produce the dissolving pulp. Or
yeah,
Renewcell produce the dissolving pulp. That is the product that Renewcell sells. So dissolving pulp is then sold to viscose manufacturers who
mm.
dissolve it and make viscose fiber from it. So
Okay.
those companies that do that is like Birla, Sanyo Tanshan, Yilin, Yibin, and so forth.
Okay, so those are actually the customers of yours, but in order for them to order this product, the brands need to request that specific um, yeah product, right? Like
Yeah.
it
So yeah. So so then it from them, let's say the viscose producers. There's the next step is the spinners spinning the
Mm,
yarn, and then you have the weavers making the textiles, and then you have the brands.
okay,
So what the brands need to do, all they need to do now is just to go to their favorite textile manufacturers and say, I want, I don't know how many yards, but 1,000 yards of these products. And
yeah,
they should go for the big hitters, of course, So for a denim producer, they would say, I Levi's, I need this type of denim. And they, of course, they have already collaborations with all their players or all their suppliers who then are included in this supplier network.
and you said before that this material would increase their current cost with 1%, or maybe the price you said would be increased with 1%.
The,
Um,
yeah, the price would be increased by 1%.
the
So
price would
that
be
means,
increased. Yeah.
yeah. So that means if you take a garment for about actually a bit less than 1%, but let's say 1%. If you take an average garment in the world has a price of about $25, and
Per.
no, it's just an average. If you take a pair of jeans, it's about
Okay, got
20.
it.
Yeah. To take a pair of jeans is actually less than 1%. But let's say on average, so you have $25. So you increase the cost of the fiber would increase at about 25 dollar cents.
And
So
this is to me a little bit shocking, I would probably say, because if they don't have to do anything else than just picking that product, barely noticeable price at the end, I can't even imagine that this would be a competitive disadvantage at this point, because it won't really hurt their margins that much. Um, and you guys had investors like H&M. You were publicly listed, as you said, after an IPO for a couple of years. Then the question would be, why? I mean, why did it fail? Because you filed, not you, but Renewcell filed for bankruptcy 2 weeks ago. And the
Mhm.
question is, of course, why? Is it a challenge in ramping up the production? But you said you were already ramping up production. Um, and why are they not just choosing this material that obviously seems to be much better? What was the problem?
Yeah, that's the question actually. The market, the market was too slow. I mean, we have Renewcell, and when I was there, we were marketing crazily, and we also had a lot of customer visits. We had roundtables, we had discussions, we had fair appearances, we had a lot of. I was speaking about it, and the chief commercial officer Trisha was working on it a lot, and we built up this whole supplier network and so forth and so on. But in the end, I think the commitment from the brands that's saying to the garment manufacturers or to the textile manufacturers, this is what we want, didn't come through. And
Even with H&M being your like largest shareholder, they were not able to push for that
no,
either.
they came through with some volumes, but not enough. Others were coming
Did
through
you
with,
have sorry? Did you have enough volumes just to make sure? If they would
yeah,
have
yeah,
come through, you
yeah,
had
yeah,
the capacity. Okay.
yeah, yeah. The capacity is there, and I mean it's about just building up the capacity.
Mm,
No, the capacity is there. The value chain is there. The prices are there. Um, but I think it was from the brand side. I think they didn't realize they have a difficulty getting it through their systems.
mm,
I mean, when you talk to the to developers and you talk to the sustainability people, you talk to the leadership of these brands and so forth, they all say, yes, this is what we need. We're going to go and we're going to make this happen. But when it comes then to converting those commitments into to orders, or that those statements into
mm,
commitment and orders, that's where it fails. It doesn't come through fast enough. And
yeah.
you can take any brand, and I don't want to single out anyone because I think it's an industry issue, and say, well, why didn't you order this? And they will say, well, we try and we work on it,
Mm,
but it was too slow in the end for Renewcell's shareholders
yeah.
to work on that.
Do you think that if I mean we don't know what will happen to the to Renewcell? Maybe someone will buy it and continue, but do you think that it's a more of a timing mark? I mean, it's a timing issue here. Like if given 2, 3 more years, legislation or no legislation, it would have worked out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all a timing issue. I mean, the technology is there, the demand is there, but it needs to come through in true orders.